Hi everyone, it's Rachel from Don't Crop Me Now. So I have popped down to the plot. Unfortunately, our whole household has had COVID, and that's probably why we've been pretty quiet for the last couple of weeks. So we're starting to feel a little bit better now. So we've come down to, well, I've come down to the plot anyway, just to have a look. So we have not really been down at all for 2 weeks, but are coming down once and doing a tiny bit of watering in the greenhouse and the polytunnel. So I'm going to have a quick look around, so hopefully you can see what our plot looks like. So it was 2 weeks ago today that I last came down to the plot, and I didn't actually do any weeding then, so it's actually probably around 3 weeks since we did any weeding on our plots. So let's have a look and see what the damage actually is. So we'll start at excuse me, still got a bit of that COVID cough. Apparently that can go on for quite some time. So let's see, this is plot 4. We're just going to walk around and see how many weeds there are. So there are some weeds. There's some weeds in this bed where we harvested some of the giant garlic, and you can see a couple there in between the giant cabbages. But on the whole, it's not looking too bad. This is the NoDig that does this, guys. So if you can see, even on the beds, there's just the odd weed, and I'm hoping I find enough energy to pull some of these out today. I might cough quite a lot throughout this, so excuse that. But everything seems to be growing really well. It's really taken off now. So there's a big difference in a couple of weeks of the actual crops. Those peas look good. Growing quite high now, and all the beans have really taken off. There's a lot of flowers there on the, those are butter beans. The other squash beds, that was definitely a courgette, not a squash that I planted there. Sweet corn's looking okay. Some of them have been nibbled down by something on the edge. In between there, I've put some bedding plants. So there's just the odd weeds really. You can see some weeds in between there. It's been 3 weeks, there's a couple of big weeds there that need pulling out. Onions are looking good. Looking pretty big, those. So on the whole, it looks really good actually. Potatoes, still no signs of blight, which is good. Those ones are well supported. Let's have a look around. I mean, there has been quite a lot of rain on and off, which, not heavy rain, but some rain, which is good because obviously it has been really dry. These courgettes in buckets are doing well, flowering well now. Definitely need to pick some of these sweet peas because they will go to seed. So overall, it's looking pretty good. There's not many weeds, certainly not on plot 4 anyway. The plot was had the longest. Dahlias coming into flower, which is good. Broad beans need picking. You can see there. Lavender is looking brilliant. Look at there. Look at that butterfly there. Lavender looks really nice. I sowed a few swede in there. They've come up. So that would have been 2 weeks ago today that I sowed those. Those potatoes falling over because I haven't really got the supports in, but they still look pretty healthy. Pond is looking nice. Fountain's going well in the sun. Been a lot of sort of June drop of apples. We're not worried about that, it's a good thing. So I'll have to get some of those up and into the compost. I don't know if I'll have the energy to do that today, to be honest. Just going to concentrate on any weeds. This is where I sowed some beetroots. This would have been 2 weeks ago today. There we go, it's coming up underneath there. The reason I put this fleece on the top just to stop the cats digging in it really until the plants are a bit more established. Also sown some carrots in here. They have come through. Some carrots there, not amazing, but you know, I've got some carrots. Excuse me. Got a first sunflower that's starting to flower there. When we did come down, I did take these hanging baskets down just so it would make the watering a little bit easier, because Anthony's really not been too good either, and he's still not feeling 100% brilliant, and I really struggle to get the baskets down because they're too high for me. So I had to put them down here just so hopefully it makes it a bit easier for me to give them a water over this weekend, because we're actually forecast to get up to 27 degrees here over the weekend. So I'm not particularly looking forward to that, because that's not the best when you're still not feeling 100%. So let's have a look over at the polytunnel. I do need to get some canes, which I can get from our allotment shop here, to support a lot of these structures that have started to grow a bit now actually. So they're not bad really. Got some flowers there on the aubergines. Those tomatillo plants are picking up, so they're alive. A lot of flowers on the hanging basket tomato. It doesn't look too happy actually. It's not blight, but it doesn't look too happy, but I think that's going to struggle to keep it watered. That one looks a bit better. And as you can see, some of the cucumbers, you see where the older leaves are just sort of dying off, but the fresh growth is good. So they should pick up over the next month. So that's all looking pretty good. And the chilies and peppers, quite happy. It's quite humid in here actually. So let's have a look at 5B, the last half plot. And this is where I think there will be more weeds, because this is the most recent plot. So strawberries got a lot of runners on, so should do well next year. And see bits of bindweed there that we'll have to pull those out. Actually, when you look at most of the beds, there's not any weeds except on the mare's tail, which I will just need to pull out. And this was completely seeding, this plot. It had been for a couple of years. So you can see the difference that the mulching does make. The only weed that tends to come through for us is the mare's tail. And if we've got bits that you've missed, for example, bindweed, they will come through as well. So there's a bit there. There's definitely some bits of bindweed in this corner, probably coming through from the plot behind, really, that I have been pulling out on those beds. So everything looks really healthy actually. And there's not many weeds, to say nothing has been weeded for 3 weeks. Let's check out the greenhouse, chili house. So most of these were in self-watering plots, which we only just got them planted out actually before we actually got COVID, but that is like an absolute godsend, because obviously we haven't had to be coming down and watering these all the time. But they're looking really good in there, which is good. Some of the giant garlic and a few onions that I'd pulled out that are drying in there as well. And the last thing, we'll just go back over to 2B and look at this soft fruit. I know there's absolutely loads of soft fruit and I really need to pick it, but I don't know if I've got the energy to do that. I think I should maybe try and do the gooseberries, certainly over this weekend at least, pick some of those, and some of those red currants, because there were loads, 2 weeks ago there were loads, so there's going to be they're going to be crazy now. We did the same with the strawberry baskets, took them down just for ease of watering really. We've definitely got some cherries on that tree, which we've never managed to get any before, so I'm probably going to leave them to the birds, to be honest. I might pull a few out so I can put them in vodka maybe. And we are getting some of the blueberries. There's a nice big fat one there, but look at those. I really need to pick those. And the fruit is ripening everywhere. Look at those black currants. And I know if I have a look around here where the red currant bushes are, they are like absolutely insane. So I do need to do something with these and get some of these picked, particularly that one in the middle. But again, it's a lot of work when you're not really quite 100%. But you know what? If you're going to do anything on your plots, guys, go NoDig. I think this hopefully illustrates the difference that it can make when you've got an established plot and then you go NoDig. Then you really reduce a lot of that annual weeds that you need to deal with. So if we hadn't touched our plot for like 3 weeks and we hadn't been NoDig, I'm sure it would have been much, much worse. So I am back in the summer house just to have a little bit of a rest and to try and get together a plan of action. Hopefully, as you can see, the plots are not that bad despite not being weeded for 3 weeks. Thankfully, we have fared reasonably well from having the COVID. I know it's been becoming a problem again in the UK and the numbers are really spiking again. So thankfully we've had our vaccines and that really would have really helped. So if you have liked the video today, please like, comment and subscribe. It only takes a minute, but it will really help our channel. Take care everyone. Bye.